Ho ho!
Celta are having a great season. What are your feelings about the team ahead of this important match tomorrow?
Yes, as you say, and I think I repeat myself every time you ask me this question about the opponents we've been facing in recent weeks. This is an away match that won't be easy at all against a great team and a coach who, in my opinion, is doing a wonderful job. It's a very well-organized team that's playing with a lot of confidence. I think they've won 4 matches in a row and they're playing really good football. It's also a stadium where there's always a great atmosphere whenever Real Madrid go there. So overall, it's another very complicated and demanding away game.
How do you explain the team's drop in form? 2 consecutive defeats, and especially the poor performances. Have you spoken with the players to turn the situation around, and how can that be done?
Yes, the 2 consecutive defeats are in the league. We're not including the Champions League in that statistic. And of course, in a team like Real Madrid, defeat is always difficult to manage because of the expectations and the level of demand. But right now, the only thing we're thinking about is tomorrow's match. That's the only thing that concerns us, knowing what we'll face, something we were also aware of in the 2 matches we didn't manage to win. We know the level we have to reach if we want to beat a great opponent, and we know that a lot depends on ourselves, the level we show, our confidence, our security. For us, the past doesn't exist. We're only thinking about Balaídos.
The other day you said you had everything clear regarding Kylian Mbappe, but after those statements, there was a medical report, a trip to France, and in fact, he's still there. I want to ask if you still have everything clear regarding Mbappe, and if you speak with him regularly to know how he's doing.
Yes, of course I speak with him every day, and of course we have everything under control, what's happening with him and how he's doing. Every day he's improving. As I also said here a few days ago, it's a process where we're going day by day, monitoring how he feels. But so far it's all good news, and he's getting better and better.
On Monday after the match, you said you're obviously not giving up, which is logical and normal. But the feeling is that if tomorrow you don't win in Vigo, and then the next match, there would be very few chances left to fight for La Liga and the Champions League.
Well, but tomorrow we play, right? So let us go and play tomorrow's match, which is very difficult, and let us have the hope of thinking we can get those 3 points. There are 36 points still left to play for, and we're 4 points behind, not 18. That's the only thing we need to think about. We don't want to put ourselves in situations that haven't happened yet. And whatever happens, this is Real Madrid. As long as it's mathematically possible, we will fight. And if a moment ever comes when mathematically we can't fight anymore, we'll still keep fighting. Because that's what this club is about. At least that's how I understand Real Madrid, always fighting. I understand that after 2 defeats like the ones we've suffered, the atmosphere may not be the most positive. But inside the dressing room, we're very aware that there's still a lot of the league left, and we're going to fight in every match to win the 3 points and keep fighting for the title.
Direct question for you, would finishing the season without titles be a failure?
The same question again? I see that all of you are in an optimistic mood today, right? No, honestly, I'm telling you the truth. I'm only thinking about the Celta Vigo match. That's the only thing on my mind right now. It's the only thing I'm focused on, the only thing I'm working on with my players. I'm not thinking about absolutely anything else.
Beyond the points is that the team isn't playing well. Aside from the first few games when you arrived, like Villarreal and the match in Eibar against Benfica, the team hasn't been playing well. Even some individual duels are being lost during matches. What explanation does the Real Madrid coach give for this situation?
No explanations. It's not that I don't like giving them, it's that I believe the important thing here isn't explaining failure. The important thing is winning. There's no point in explaining why you lost. Here at Real Madrid, the only thing that matters is winning the next match. Of course, I could come here and talk about learning processes, about how nothing is ever linear, about how every process has ups and downs. But as I told you 15 seconds ago, it wouldn't help much. I'm very aware that the team can play better. I'm also very aware that we have a great squad. Tomorrow we face a very difficult match and we also have several absences. But for my part, I have the same confidence that we have enough players to win matches, to play better, to give more of ourselves, to fight more, to compete harder, and to have a more ambitious mentality, one that matches this badge. And until the last day I'm here, I will fight and work to make that happen. I have no other objective and nothing else on my mind.
Tomorrow you have 11 players unavailable between injuries and suspensions. How does that affect the way you approach the match?
No, I don't have to think about it too much. I was actually going to say the situation makes it easier for me because I have fewer things to think about. I have fewer players, so I have fewer decisions to make. But honestly, I approach it with confidence, which is what I try to transmit to my players and the squad. This is Real Madrid. We don't make excuses. I believe we have to grow in the face of adversity. People, players, professionals are measured when things become difficult. When you're winning 3-0, everyone plays well and everyone plays with confidence. When things are going well, it's very easy to be a great player, a great professional, and to wear this shirt. Now is when we have to show it. This is the moment when we need to prove whether we are worthy of wearing this shirt and this badge.
I'd like to know who makes the decision for Kylian and Jude to receive treatment outside the club.
Well, everything related to the injuries of both Jude Bellingham and Kylian Mbappé is perfectly organized by Real Madrid's medical services and the club's physical preparation department. Both Bellingham and Mbappé, as you already know and have reported, have been in London and Paris with Real Madrid professionals, members of the medical staff and the physical conditioning department. So everything, absolutely everything, is supervised by Real Madrid.
I wanted to ask you, as the coach, what do you think is the main reason for that lack of consistency?
Well, as I said before, the main problem is that it's not easy. And I know I may sound repetitive, but we simply haven't had enough time to work on everything we would like to. I imagine any coach you ask in a situation like ours would say the same thing. In the last 50 days, I think we've had almost, actually probably more, matches than training sessions. From there, it's also about the players adapting to what we ask of them and how I adapt to them. Surely we need to achieve more consistency in our performances. I'm not just talking about results, which are obviously very important, but also about our level of performance and the clarity of our ideas on the pitch.
About Hyson. He's in a somewhat delicate situation with the Bernabeu crowd. In the minutes he gets, it seems like he's not allowed to make a single mistake. Since he joined the team, after standing out with Bournemouth, his performance has clearly dropped. Have you spoken with him? How do you see him? Is this something that can be fixed, or what exactly has happened? Because he looks very different.
Look, when it comes to Housen or Mastantuono, I'm very clear about it. These are players who are very young. For example, Mastantuono could easily be playing in Real Madrid's Juvenil A team, which is full of players his age. And Housen, despite being an international player, could still be playing for Castilla because of his age. I remember what people were saying here when Vinicius arrived, and look where he is now, with 2 Champions League titles and considered one of the best players in the world. I think we have to be patient, at least I will be, with players of that potential and that level, especially in their first season at Real Madrid. Playing for Real Madrid is not like playing for any other team in the world. It's the most demanding club, especially at their age. For me, they are doing a great job. They have all my confidence, absolutely all of it. They have enormous ability, and they will be very important not only for the future, but also for the present of Real Madrid. I would love for the fans to understand what each player represents, to support them, encourage them, and demand hard work and effort from them, which is what this badge requires. And also to encourage them to make mistakes, because they will make them. They are human, and football is a sport full of mistakes. I'm sure these experiences and the demands of this club will help them grow, and I'm convinced we will have great nights with them in the future. From here, they have all my support and confidence, which is what I give them every day.
I wanted to ask you about Brahim. When he came back from the Africa Cup of Nations, he was an important player, but in the last few matches, he's lost that prominence. Against Benfica, he warmed up for many minutes, but didn't come on. Has something happened?
No, nothing has happened. The truth is, Brahim is probably playing less than he deserves, and I'm responsible for that. He's a player who trains very well, and as you said, there's no need to talk about his qualities or what he has done with his national team and throughout his years at Real Madrid. I'm sure I can get much more out of him than I currently am, and that he can help us much more. That's something that's on me, and I'll make the effort to ensure Brahim gives us more than he's giving right now, because he definitely has the ability to do so.
At the moment, you only have one center back available. I'd like to know how Asensio and Alaba are doing. Are you considering giving an opportunity to another academy player?
Alaba won't make it. He won't be available for the match. We believe Asensio will be. We're about to train now, and if neither Alaba, who definitely won't be there, nor Asensio were available, then of course one of the academy players would play. It could be Guado or Lamine, we'll see. But I believe Asensio will be available for tomorrow's match.